Welcome, beautiful souls. So today I want to talk about the wanting and the needing energy and desiring to be with your twin or anyone for that matter. And yeah, just to explain this a little bit at a more deeper soul level, someone's put a beautiful comment up, so I thought I would just respond to this. So welcome, I'm Kathleen from Awakening Meraki. Now before I crack into this, I just want to set the intention here. The intention of this is about you. It's about you getting to know all the layers of yourself, both the light aspects and the shadow aspects. Okay, it's not about rejecting the masculine, not having a relationship with them or a connection with them. It's not about any of that. It's just that on this journey, when you've been awakened via a twin flame, you can't just come into a relationship with them when there's any of that low energy of that want, that need, desire. When we're talking about desire, I'm talking about from a wanting and needing, fear-based perspective. It can't come together in that energy because this is a divine connection. It's not from this 3D world. It's built in a whole nother world, right? And so it's even things like birthdays, often they ghost or they don't recognize our birthdays or Christmas, and it really upsets people on this journey, particularly in the early parts of it. But here's the thing, things like Christmas, birthdays, any kind of public holidays that you celebrate in your country, that is all 3D stuff. This connection goes beyond all of those things. It's much deeper, way deeper than the temporary stuff that we celebrate here. And that is why they often ghost or ignore our birthdays, because when you want it, when you want that birthday recognition, you're not going to get it. And because it's an attachment, and we are rising out of the material world attachments. That's essentially what this is. And their physical vessel, again, is an attachment, and it's just programming, it's conditioning. What you have here is a soul bond. It is entirely different to soulmate connection, and I'm not dissing soulmate connections, it's just that it's completely different. That's built in the physical world, whereas the twins is not. It comes from 5D, just a completely different dimension where there's no duality. But it's incarnated here, and it's in two physical bodies, and so you're polarized at the mind, you're polarized at the bodies, but you're not polarized at the soul. So just going into that particular comment that was made around why is it wasn't quite along these words, but it comes up quite a bit, just but surely I'm allowed to still want to be with my twin. Absolutely, we all do, mostly, and I think most of us are kidding ourselves if we say we don't. You're meant to be. You can be with your twin. I know some coaches say you don't have to be, and no, you don't have to. It's ultimately going to be your choice, but as so long as you do the soul work, they will come back, but they'll come back in on a soul frequency. They're not going to stay with you unless you can maintain that soul frequency, that shared soul frequency that you have. And it can't stay in, because remember, it comes from a frequency where there's no duality, there's no fear, and that's what you've got to collapse. You've got to collapse that fear so that the connection can be held in 3D, even though there's fear-based energies on this planet. So the difference between a soul desire and your fear-based desires are completely different. It's a knowing, it's your intuition, it's deep, and it's inside of you, right? That desire builds inside of you. Your fear-based energy is completely different. Your fear-based desires wants them to fill a void, or wants somebody to fill a void. It's conditional. It's there's an insecurity within me, and I don't like being on my own, so I want someone to come in and be a partner with me because I don't like being on my own. That's all fear-based energy, and that just won't happen in this dynamics. You can have that with a soulmate, but you can't have that in a twin flame connection. All of it needs to be released. And to be honest, when you're out of all of that, you won't want that. When you've done the soul work and you're in your frequency, that will not be sufficient, unless, the only caveat I will put here is unless you've got a really high vibing soulmate, and otherwise they'll be just completely out of resonance and you won't connect with anybody energetically unless they're really high, conscious soulmate, or or it's a twin. And this is why things fall apart. When you've been married or in relationships or friendships even, they fall apart when you are now no longer in resonance. I always think of it a bit like this, right? I worked in optometry for a long time, and there's always a bit of a tolerance within the script, and we can maintain a slight tolerance level to the actual script, but once it's out of that tolerance, it's like we just can't see. And this is the same dynamics. It's just that there's a little bit of tolerance in terms of who we can have and energetically around us. And I'm talking about everything. I'm talking jobs, friends, family, everything. And so you can tolerate, you will have a tolerance level, but once you've really shifted your frequency, your tolerance for certain people will be different. So you'll all resonate. So going back to that, your soul desire is different. I've done quite a bit of coaching today, and what I want to really talk about is the theme that's come up this week is very much the feminine energy. The polarity is really stabilizing and anchoring in this polarity, because what happens at the beginning of this journey is we shed everything, then we it's like we flip the magnets back around, but we're then alchemizing that energetic wall with all the fear, and then it's like you've done that, and it's just the residual stuff, and now you're really starting to come into your polarity, really into the true authentic self. Not this, you'll still have an ego structure, but you're not in the stories anymore, you're not in the drama of life. You realize now you are creating your reality. Literally, you realize that all these stories, which felt so real and honest and true, are just an illusion. They're literally a fictional story, and that are amplified. And so what happens is when you come into your real feminine polarity, that soul desire gets stronger. And this is how you magnetize. You could say manifest, but we're not manifesting in the sense of, we're not putting that out there. We're just coming into our frequency. And so the manifestation comes through the embodiment of your divinity, the embodiment of your feminine polarity. And so part of that is the soul's desire to be with itself. And you're not, but the needing and wanting energy and that longing and that pulling is all dissipated. You don't have that. It's just, you just know. And that knowing gets stronger and stronger, that they're going to return, and they're going to be in really different energy, because you know what you're in, you know the energy you're in, and that you anchor that in deeper and deeper and deeper. And so that is the soul desire, is what I would say to this person. And it sounds like, just reading your comment, that you're kind of heading in that path, that it's not that needing and wanting anymore, it's the desire. The desire is part of the manifestation, right? Because how do we manifest? And we're not consciously manifesting our twin, okay? We do, when we're on this journey, everything, not even just the twin, everything is about the embodiment. So I've talked a lot about this today as well. It's just the embodiment of your purpose, the embodiment of how your life is going to be. You're just fully embodying it, and you can see it, you can taste it, you can feel it, and that is how we manifest. That is but in this case, what you're manifesting or magnetizing is your new reality that's in alignment with soul, and soul will bring it to you. You just know what you've got to go do. I know what I'm doing in my purpose. I know where it's heading. I've got a pretty good clarity now on where I'm going, and so I'm embodying the energy of the woman that's going to be doing certain things in 6 months' time. I'm embodying her today, right? The union's no different. You become the embodiment of it. You are living the union before you're actually living with the physical. That's how this journey plays out. You're literally embodying it before you see it. And that's the wish fulfilled, right? So I hope this really resonates. This journey is all about embodiment. It truly is. it's like everything, it's like you've come down the rapids, down this nasty river of rapids and rocks and whatever, and then the rocks are, and it's smoothing out, and it's calmer waters, and there might be a few little bumps, but it's settling, right? The banks are a lot stronger because it's just flowing beautifully, and then you can see the ocean, and it's like I see it all. I see the infinite possibilities that I am, that are all going to manifest. It's only inevitable. Whatever your soul wants to bring in that's in that ocean is going to manifest, and it will show up. You don't even have to consciously do anything about it. You just got to get into the frequency. It's a state of being. You align in that frequency and everything comes to you. Your soul is naturally abundance. Your soul is naturally your twin. Your soul is whatever's resonating with you, your purpose. It's just everything, and you see all the infinite possibilities as you're coming down the end of that lake and coming out to the river, and you're entering into the ocean. You see it, and that's the thing, because you're right out of all the noise and the rapids and the stories, and you see everything with so much clarity. You know yourself like you've never known yourself, and what you're doing here is you are integrating the shadow parts of you and the light, and you're blending the two. Your light, if you think about the yin and yang symbol, the light almost transmutes the shadow, and you just come into oneness, and you come into oneness on your own first, and then it starts to show up in your physical reality, and because you're interconnected to everything. It's not even that you're connected to everything, you just are everything. You just, I shared on here a couple of weeks back about a hike I did, and just sitting out in the bush, and just, I was actually on a river with rapids, big waterfall and stuff, and just seeing the energy of everything, of all the nature, the rocks, the water. Like, it was an incredible experience, of the other people that were around me, my daughter, myself. It was just incredible. And I was merging into the boulder I was sitting on. And this is what happens. You start merging your own energy, your own beautiful feminine and masculine energy merges within you. You feel it. It's that Heros Gamos. You feel more anchored in. You feel more stabilizing. So it's only natural that your soul's going to desire. That desire for that person is no different to the desire for the purpose that I'm bringing on board in my life, or the desire is no different for my friendships. It's the same desire, because it's soul and soul. But in this instance, this person's just 100% the same soul blueprint as you, so they have no choice but to come in. That's why free will just doesn't even play in this in the scope of this dynamics. It just can't, because it's all about the energy. Anyway, really hope that this helps. If you need some help in sport and you want to know how to transmute this energy, or you just want, that support, I've got lots of resources there. You can check out my link in the comment section. I think the biggest and the most beautiful thing that I do have is a stunning community group, and it's just expanding and it's growing, and the energy in there is just amazing. And yeah, it blows my mind just how beautiful that group truly is. And just just having the stunning souls in there, that we're all on this journey together, and we're all learning, me included. We're all learning from each other. But remember, this is about embodiment. You have to really rise fully into your truth, into your divinity. Feel the God, goddess within you, and that is how you then start to attract and magnetize in. Sending lots of love.